There, I got the camera fixed. I hope. Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. This is Truepowerismine. This is TPIM. That's our live. Hey, y'all, I got Dr.RandyShort on the line today, calling in from DC. Doctor, you still there?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you just want to, I'm just going to let you go.
Well, this has been a fascinating weekend, fascinating political week. I'm very excited. I need to, when I get home, I'm going to probably send some information to a brother who's supposed to interview me from England tomorrow. I'm very pleased with the awakening of Black people all over and how many are resisting going for the okie doke. I'm again thankful for our bull in the China closet president who has been like the sunshine in the sky of Black awareness and consciousness. He has a way of doing and saying things that make people wake up and think. And it isn't so much because we are loved, but because we live in America and we are the descendants of people who've overcome everything put on us. We are able to take even something that is toxic and make it into something nutritious for our souls.
Yes, we can.
Oh my, that should be the national anthem.
Yes, I just want to do that because, it's time for people to get up and listen. Just like the little song has said back in the day, it's time for us to understand. Like, wasn't you talking? We was just talking for the show, Doctor, about this accuser and up there in the news that you was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the purpose of all these other side stories and not talking about the issue of Jeffrey Epstein and this pedophilia nonsense?
Because they're part of white privilege. It's on steroids for rich, powerful white men who comprise 80% of the folks who buy sex from minors and prostitutes. And I guess from the trannies or drag queens. And it's even more so for the powerful men. So Jeffrey Epstein, who's more than likely part of a Talmudic, Mossadic extortion ring. If you ever wonder why everyone runs around screaming how much they love Israel, and I'm not even anti-Israel, but you mean everyone's so devoted and so passionate about Israel at all times? It's almost, if you've ever been at an AIPAC event, I have, it's almost like being at a cult or a confessional. Why such extreme loyalty? Why is it if they shoot children in the head, people find some way to defend the murder of children or the murder of unarmed people? Bombing of non-combatants is good if it's Israel doing it. Why are people who get upset about folks who haven't showered in 45 days silent about people who are massacred in their own homes? Surely, if we can look at the degree of human suffering, wouldn't it be the person that a 5-ton bomb dropped on their home or their whole family's obliterated versus an unlawful person who tries to cross into another country and gets detained?
Exactly.
Mind you, I'm not here screaming against Israel. I'm only asking a question.
But these questions needs to be answered in their totality.
Well, the point is, if you ask the question, then you're going to get into trouble if you think about it. And maybe a lot of people need to get ready to get into trouble. What I really love right now, going back to my favorite issue, illegal migration into this country, that as I had to tell this nigger deacon who called me bitching about the folks, in as much as I say I support Trump, I don't support like rich folks getting tax breaks when poor people are going without. I'm not an illogical person. Okay, the tax thing, they would have probably been done if Hillary was in because they want to do favors for the people that got them in office. But
true.
ultimately, I'm a very rational person, and I'm looking at, out of the circumstances, um, a black, or should I say, a mulatto white supremacist. Obama was followed by a white primacist.
Mm.
Went from a mulatto supremacist to a white primacist, where they think white first, and the white supremacist is white supreme. Now, this immigration thing is so delicious because 1 in 9 black children are forcibly removed from their homes by Child and Family Services. And those children are sometimes killed, raped, and abused in the care of white, gay, or even in the case of Laquan McDonald, he was getting gang raped by Mexicans, probably illegally in the country. Imagine a boy being gang raped by folks who are in the country unlawfully, and they're paid, pardon me, to fuck him.
Man.
And right, that's what happened to Laquan McDonald. Okay, and people don't talk enough about that. So this is happening to hundreds of thousands of black children in foster care, in juvenile detention, in adult prisons, so forth and so forth and so forth. And the thousands of black children that were experimented on for vaccines to be made, if you're not aware of it.
Oh, I heard about
and
those.
so forth and so forth. And no one cries about that. But if you're a damn illegal with a parent that's violating international and national law, we're crying. Look, if you and I were father and son, and I was a father, and I went into a Kroger and stole a gallon of milk because you needed milk, they would arrest me and they would separate you and I. And I would be adjudged an unfit father, and you would be put in the care of the state.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Well, if that's the law of America for me, what makes these fuckers who are not from here above the law because they break the law?
Well, they're being, separated as well. As we all know, they're thrown in kennels or whatnot.
But they're not necessarily their children. Let's not talk about separation. Many of these children have been found to not even be there. These people are human trafficking. I just talked to a friend of mine. There's a gentleman by the name of Piccolo, a white gentleman who was one of the heads of Homeland Security, who found out that they were bringing thousands of underage girls to be screwed, to be put in sexual slavery from south of the border. And when he found out about this, President Obama and others had him fired.
Wow.
All of y'all that like Obama, he covered up for children being mass raped and put in sexual slavery.
Can we get him on the show?
I will give you Maryland's number. Maryland has his card. He's a whistleblower, but he was fired for thinking it was wrong for little girls to get raped. By the way, little Mexican and Latino girls, maybe that'll make a difference. Who cares if a little black girl gets raped? They're probably ready for it, right? That's the attitude.
That's a horrible attitude, and we're going to change that.
Yeah, we're going to change it. I don't agree with it. I hate it. I hate CNN, although I watch it, and I see how they just cry over
CNN is bananas.
And nobody cares nothing about black folks. This black woman that was found in the trunk of a car, and there's no motive for this black female leader to be in the trunk of a car.
In Mississippi.
Down at one of the most racist, no, in Louisiana.
Louisiana. Right next door.
Just as racist, just as dangerous.
Well, Brother Al just stepped in the room.
There's no motive. There's no motive for a black leader to disappear and be found in a stolen car, mutilated. There's just no motive, right?
No motives people are willing to talking about. That no one wants to talk about that. That's the root of the problem.
Well, there's a different issue. We've got a group of people like John Lewis, and I keep talking about this parasite. The John Lewis and other people are blocking the progress of black people. And we have to have a revolution within our race against our traitors, our coons. They are in the way. I read that letter Remember with you and Judge Joe Brown that Nanny Helen Burroughs, one of the greatest black women that ever lived,
Mm-hmm.
and she said that we had parasites and traitors and toms, and they were destroying us, and they're still destroying us. We have to decide to destroy them to save ourselves. And I really like this, that a large number of black people are not responding. Now, look, I don't hate folks from Somalia. I have a few Somali associates, but many Somalis don't even like one another, don't feel that highly about black people. And they have a caste system for the Gaboy or Madigan or the Somali Bantus. They have their outcast groups where they hate and kill one another. Trust me, it's pretty easy to dislike black Americans too. Is it all Somalis? No. Is it many? Yes. And so the president, I thank him, not because he loves me, but he loves his image of a predominantly white America in which black people have a part in it. On the other side are the sodomite, feminist, mass incarceration loving, baby killing Democrats, whose vision of America is black people erased by homosexuality and illegal invasions. I prefer the white supremacist vision of Trump over blacks exterminated by mass incarceration, abortion, venereal disease from sodomite conduct, and abortion. I would rather, and swirling if they can't get you that way. I prefer Donald's to Nancy's any freaking day of the week.
Well, Nancy
and on top of that, Nancy and them want us to suffer from white supremacy from Mexicans, white supremacy from Koreans, white supremacy from Chinese, white supremacy from the diaspora, white supremacy from Indians. There's so many garden varieties of white supremacy that the Democrats want to unleash on us. I'd rather just have it be black and white. You know where you stand. And it's not a person saying, I'm black and I'm brown. I want some of yours. Oh, fuck you. I got it now. I'm white. No. So I like Donald Trump's vision of America.
What about the true vision of America? The vision of true freedom, true independence, and true land ownership.
Maybe, there's a song that people sing. I heard of a city called Heaven. That's where you're going to find that. While you're on earth, according to the scriptures, man's days are short and full of trouble, says the book of Job. I'm not looking for paradise, but I do want to survive. I do want to have enough food to eat. I want a roof over my head. I want to be gainfully employed. I'd like to procreate. I want my women respected. I want to have access to education. I don't need heaven to be happy. And if I want to go to heaven, get close to God, that's the only way to go. I'm not looking for any country to be perfect. Negroes need to get real. We're not even perfect towards one another. An example, you can have the one cutest woman with the most beautiful body, and yet they have the most jacked up attitude that you don't even get access to it half the time. It's sort of like a garnish instead of something that you can really get your teeth into or anything else. Okay? Let's be honest with ourselves.
Well,
life has adversity. There will be adversity and racism and injustice in America as long as we're here. But that adversity and suffering and racism will be intense as long as we take it, as long as we try to be individuals instead of a people organized to get what's ours. That's the only way you're going to have it work right. And right now, when I see these folks crying over Omar, who doesn't dig black folks, and I see Talib, the little Palestinian trick from Detroit, those people hate black folks' guts in Detroit. They hate our guts. I mean, I ain't crying. I'm glad Trump, I wish he had called them bees. Okay.
He's not talking about bumblebee, folks.
Ocasio, she's ashamed of being part black, and she's with the most ugly white boy that looks like what's the guy's name? You remember Shaggy from
Scooby Doo.
Scooby Doo? I mean, she's got self hatred by the little raggedy white boy she hooked up with. She can't say nothing for me. She ain't real, and Puerto Ricans hate being black, most of them. And I'm saying that because my dad, by extension, is one of the pioneers of the Black Pride movement for Puerto Ricans. Okay, so I'm
Was your
not
dad Puerto
apologizing
Rican, or
to
was he?
nobody. I said it. I said what I meant. And as for Miss Presley, she's a typical black woman that needs to be in alliance with everybody except for black men. I mean, all the feminists can basically jump into the lake of fire, which is where they're going if they're following Jezebel instead of Jesus. How about you? How you doing?
But each
Feminist?
and every one of those people you're talking about obviously don't have the unity or the backing of the black folks, but yet they achieve power. Why is that?
That she doesn't have power. The Democratic Party isn't real power. That's borrowed power. That's like me with a zip car. It ain't mine. I use it as long as my card is good. When your coon card expires, so does your ability to use the power. It's like John Conyers' coon card got stamped for him. Out he went, 54 years in Congress. And he was walking around in his drawers in his office when I was volunteering with him 20 years ago.
What?
Everybody knew he was in his drawers, in his office. I learned that the first time I went to John Conyers' office, that he would be in his drawers in his office.
What the hell's wrong with him?
Maybe he didn't want to pay for an apartment, his cheap ass.
No, I mean,
He
I
certainly
get
did.
that, but still dress
He certainly
right.
did. He certainly did want to pay for the sex he was getting from both sexes. Yes, I said it on your show. My auntie and my uncle, my movement uncle, ran his first campaign for Congress, and everybody knows that John Conyers swings both ways, and mostly the other way. I don't hate him. He did a lot of good things as a congressman, but hey, if you like doing like that, if that's what you like, that's what you like.
Oh my
He's
God.
kept it quiet and toned down. I don't hate him. I think he's very kind to me, and I'm not mad at him. By the way, you don't hear me say, I hear you. No, 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 no. He's not like John Lewis. He hasn't done the stuff John Lewis has done. So, no, for what good John Conyers did, respect for him. But notice how nobody really brought up the fact that dude had boyfriends and everything else, and everybody knows this in D.C. I live
Wow.
here. Okay, I know what it's like for my cousin to go to the Borders bookstore and you see Tom Perez, the head of the Democratic Party, with one of his honey boys who got mad because my cousin knew he was looking at Perez and called him out. He got mad that you could see the boy with the tight pants was with him. He's a queen too, I suspect. That's how he got that position. Ellison didn't get it because he was Muslim and he was straight. You need to probably give head to one of those big Jewish donors. Maybe they could forget the fact that he's a black man that may now and then say something he doesn't like.
That's whack. That is
And
so whack.
Tom came from Jesuit schools. Jesuits are known for screwing little boys.
Well, that's
Sure they
why they run the third world nations. Oh, I can't go up
Well,
into the
and,
Vatican.
and
I
he's
need to
from
go
the
out here.
Dominican Republic, and he went to, and they hit it here too. Okay, they're ripping more boys here too. So now you start to see a circle and a cycle to all of this. So, God bless America. And it's so nice to see the arrogant, rude, nasty illegals, the kind that drive around without license plates on their cars. They drive around with open cans of beer here and hit people, and the police won't go after them. If you're black, you're doing everything right, they pull you over. It's nice to see them discover that there's actually laws in this country. They broke law to get in, and they figure there's no law once they're here.
Lawlessness.
So, Trump is he's brought creature feature back. I'm telling you, the horror show of American racism and its bias against all non-white people, not just us. I love it. It's been hell catching hell all by ourselves fighting for everybody else to benefit from our struggle. And they stab us in the chest and in the back, and then go to the folk and call us niggas, and yet everything they have comes from us. So thank you, Trumpy. Thank you, Trumpy, JD. Thank you for making everybody that wasn't white know that y'all are niggas too. And y'all gonna have to march and get your leaders shot on balconies and shot in their driveway and bombed in your churches. You're gonna have to stand up just like we did. And I don't think they have the courage. And you know what? If you don't, then go the fuck back to where you came from.
I think that's the game plan.
How dare you hate our guts? How dare you pimp our struggle, hate us, slash our throats without a cause when we extend a hand of brotherhood to you. And then when they come for your ass, when the temporary honorary white status card expires, now you calling me brother. Hell to the no, says Whitney Houston, even on crack. No. No. Ice, baby. You know, I'm an ice king, and if your sister, be an ice queen. If someone says something wrong to you, if they follow you in the store, call ICE.
That's what we need. We need people to get energized.
Yes, we need our people. Call, snitch. Stop being angry at other black people when you can take your frustration out on somebody from another group that hates you more than you hate yourself. You know.
Yes, but we're not going to get that because you already said we're ununified.
Why would you rather shoot a black person that's never done anything to you when there's someone here planning to kick you out, to snitch you out, to get a business, a minority business off of your struggle and never hire you, harass you and lie on you and beat your ass in their store, and you giving your money to them? Sisters, I'm talking to you. How many of y'all need to get your asses beat in a nail parlor or in a dollar store before you find out that you're just as black as the man that you slept with?
Oh, it's coming. And, you know, poor whites aren't off the menu either. You know, I mean, it's straight.
They bring in crystal meth and heroin and opioids. They wiping out the white folk, too. Y'all thought it was black people. We don't want to bother you. We just want to exist in our own country. These people have come here to take over without struggling.
And they are.
Riding our back like they're barebacking in a bathhouse. We need to throw them off. Get off.
That's why you got to call for that ice, baby.
Yes, we're straight now. Get off our back. We found our manhood again. Pull it out before we knock you out. Get off our back.
At that point in time, just knock them out and discuss it later.
Peter Pollinary, we need a new song. Make a softer version of Leaving on the Jet Plane. In fact, take your whole family with you. Take the dog, too. Nobody likes chihuahuas. Go back. If you don't want to come here legally, if you don't want to fit in, little corrupt gangsters on the police departments executing black men across the country, get out. And to hell with black and brown. Fuck that. It's not real. I don't believe in it. I don't receive it like they say in church. It ain't real. It's only black, 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 black. And let the other people stand up and fight for their own stuff.
You know,
black folk need charity. Let me tell you something. I know how these people don't like when I go from the street to the Bible. But since my father had a urban mission to the street kids in D.C., I'm sorry, I'm a hybrid. I'm a hybrid between Negroes who would get bit by rats in the church. Y'all can't deal with me. Get off this call. Now, let me go to the Bible and tell you what the Word of God said to all the little church niggas out there that want to cry about people that don't belong here, getting free services and anchor babies and housing vouchers and stuff when our people are being eaten by rats and lice in Skid Row in L.A. All y'all can go to hell. But let me just tell you, the Bible says go to hell to you. In 1 Timothy 5 and 8, it says a man who doesn't care for his own, and particularly those of his own household, is less than or lower than an infidel. You're trash. You're less than an unbeliever. If you're out there crying crocodile coon tears for other people, but you don't talk about black kids in foster care, or 2/3 of the kids that are never adopted are black males who end up being trannies or whatever, lost. You're less than an infidel. You're not even good enough to be a coon. If you care about this, you buy this bullshit that they're putting on CNN and MSNBC and ignoring the suffering of 60 million black people in America. Get out my face.
It is straight bananas. When you think about the image, the propaganda that has been placed upon us.
Well, why do we need to stop watching? Nobody watches CNN anyway. It only has a 500,000 viewers. This is garbage. It's the Klan News Network. We need to, the C and K are almost the same letter in certain languages. We need to do this. Come on, let's wake up, y'all. Wake up.
That's the whole point of waking up, people.
Straighten your back. Stop kissing the behind the folks. Hate your guts. Love yourself. Love God. And I didn't say hate anybody, but the law is the law. How can a black kid who steals a Twizzler at a store get 20 years in jail and everybody thinks it's cool, but a person that invades a country unlawfully is seen as a freedom fighter? You got to be kidding me.
Well,
so no, brother, we're going to pick this up again because I need to get out of the office.
All right.
But I want you to tell folks we're going to come back together tonight. We need to publicize this, put it out, that we want to talk about these invaders. Okay? When I hear black folks working at a construction site, hold on one second. This is my attorney. Hold on a minute.
Oh, okay. Look, I was supposed to have had, and will have, Chief Sampson on tomorrow at 11 a.m. All right. I was going to have her on tonight, but I had a family emergency pop up and I had to enroll. So this is totally, Dr. Short just happened to call me. So this was not scheduled in any way, shape, or form. But what we're talking about, and I want to add to what he was saying about black children who are adopted out. I've seen it with my own eyes. I don't know what's going on as far as the adoption people. Are they not aware that a lot of people who want these children or desire to have these children are having these children for less than honorable purposes, meaning that they're taking possession of these kids and whacking them out, abusing them, or grooming them in many ways. And we got to look at why are so many children ending up in this situation, because a lot of us are too poor nowadays to afford to have children. And you could go out there and try to steal something, go out there and try to sell something, and you get busted. And next thing you know, the children are separated from you, and you're back into slavery.
So, my brother, that was my attorney.
All right.
And by the way, I want to say this to you before I go.
What time
have
tonight?
2 more weeks before our project called Testing the Waters, where we're testing for lead poisoning, poison water in D.C. and in Baltimore. And I want some partners in St. Louis and Chicago and in Houston. I want to have a call. We need to do this very soon, and we need some help. We need some equipment. I bought some testers, but I want one that costs a few $100. We're trying to raise money so we can do this, as well as do blood lead testing, figure out who will do that for us, who will work with us to get this done. But we're looking to take down the black democratic machines across the country that will let our women and children be poisoned. And they're crying about kids who haven't taken a shower, and they're giving our kids poisonous lead, impairing them for life.
Mm-hmm. Either you
lead makes you violent. Lead makes you mentally ill. Lead bothers your blood pressure. Lead destroys you. And so when you have folks who are aggressive because of lead, what do? They send in more people with lead-caught bullets, and they shoot and kill them. They've made us like this, blamed us for it, and that the people that these Negroes are crying over at the border, they're our replacement. Well,
they ain't going to replace
me. Like the people of Charlottesville said, but I got mine. Screws will not replace us. Screws will not replace us.
Nor Skittles.
I'm right there. I'm right there with Donald Trump. Go to hell back to where you came from if you don't come here lawfully. That's Africans too. Didn't come here legally. Go the fuck back to where you came from. Have a real revolution. Unify. Stop hating each other over body scarification and stuff. And truly take control of the mother country. Don't give it to the Chinese for a box of stale rice or weed.
Hey,
blonde weed.
Noodles.
Sorry, weak, ignorant folks. Caribbean. Stop coming to America. If you're so much smarter than the Black American, why can't you make those damn islands you come from prosper? I had a little sister from the islands, but a little nasty attitude from Trinidad, and she wear this necklace that looked like a dog collar, which was quite appropriate. And she says, "Well, I said, if you hate America so much, why don't you take your ass back to where you came from? Make it prosper there." And you know what she said to me?
What?
It's a small country. I said, bitch, so is Hong Kong and Singapore and Monaco and San Marino and Luxembourg and Andorra and Vatican City are small countries. And they rich as hell. Nigga, you're a scammer. You're here to take my shit and then fight me in my own country. Go the fuck back where you came from. There are a lot of countries that are small. Malta's small. Cayman Islands is small.
Right, but we're not going to talk about the Kingdom of Malta.
Iceland is small. Being small, I mean, that's like in bed. You may have a small thing, but if you know how to make someone feel good, it doesn't matter if you have a big one. And some people are so big, they don't know what to do with it. So I said, I don't want to hear that. You know what? After I said Hong Kong and Macau and Singapore was small and Brunei was small, they never spoke to me again because I busted out those fake foreign Negroes who come around with their little nasty attitude about their British education, okay, which never teach them anything about being black, which is why they can't form solidarity with other people, even in the damn Caribbean. They hate one another, and they especially can't get along with people once they get here, huh?
Yeah, I hear you.
So I love this. This is, and you know, I was saying we need to form a group, Brother Pete. We need to call it SADAS, Straight African Indigenous American Descendants of Enslaved. Straight. SADAS. To differentiate ourselves from what I call gaydars.
You know,
don't you like that?
Funny. I love it. It smells, you know,
yes,
and the thing about
SADAS.
I have to try
so
to
I said, no, I'm not a Native. No, I ain't SADAS. I'm afraid of that shit. Mm-hmm. No, SADAS. Oh, yeah, I'm like that. Okay. I just said, well, what kind of ADOS? Which ones? The gay ones, the straight? See, we need to do. Have you noticed how, what's her face? The one that looked like Kid or Play from House Party?
Oh.
You don't see her too much. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Oh, Algero looking.
You know,
running with the white woman. You see all these people. I even saw this article. I don't know if I sent it to you. From the Washington Examiner, the Attorney General of Indiana said all police slayings were justified. And I called my girlfriend, one of my girlfriends up, and said, this dude must be either slurping on a white girl or getting humped by a white man. They keep putting these swirlers,
right,
whatever stripe or whichever side of the bed they're on. They're traitors. I'm going to tell you something. I'm completely against violence against people, but I'm going to tell you here in D.C., they've killed 3 trannies since the beginning of the year. On the 6th of July, a dude shot 2 dudes in the head in Detroit, killed them both, hunting for gay dudes on Grindr. I think that's morally evil and wicked. Thou shalt not kill, even if you don't like their sexuality. But remember I said people getting angry with the excesses of this LGBTQ, and not everybody is like you or me that's going to disagree, never put your hands or lie on or mistreat someone. Right. And then other people say, hell, I don't like that. I'll just destroy someone that's different, which you and I know I disagree with that.
Right.
Ready to split? So, my brother, we need to come back together. I want to say ice, ice, baby. And, you know, what's that song that she sang? The first Black Miss America, the one that had it taken away. You know what I'm talking about. The one that posed nude for the white dude that wouldn't even talk to black men. I knew folk who knew her. Come on, the one that sings Save the Best for Last.
Yeah, I thought Vanessa Williams or whatever.
Yeah, Vanessa Williams.
Yeah.
I'll just give a stanza. Every census weekend. Happy days are here again. The sky above is clear again. Happy days, black folk. We back in the game. The white supremacists, to save themselves, have to put us back in the mix. Happy day. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Donny boy, the white stones whites are calling from glen to glen and round the mountainside. Black folk, we back in the mix. It's over. The long bullcrap black-brown scam is done. We free. And we need to learn how to take advantage of this unique situation in the country. It's never going to come again. We're never going to have a person who causes as much controversy and thought as the one we got right now. And I'll tell anyone, we need to keep him where he is, creating all the confusion and consciousness that he can, because we went to sleep under Ofaga. Ofaga was supposed to be the sedative to put us to sleep so we could be gang raped by the sodomite agenda, the illegals, the mass incarceration, and the baby killing agenda. And here comes Donald Trump with his rude, out of control behavior and his bombed out, depleted hairline to make everybody mad and think, and you know what? We didn't hear about racism the entire time Obama was in, no matter how many people were murdered by the cops. Now we hear about racism every day because of Trump. And I thank him. You know that song Sam Day sing, you didn't have to do what you did, and I thank you. I thank you, Donald Trump. You've pissed off everybody. You've got everybody mad, everybody unified, everybody standing up, black folks recognizing that they are people and not a color, and we don't need these other people. They haven't even been fair with the friends to us. They've used us. They've screwed us. You'll never see, no matter how many blacks get murdered, you'll never see no Mexican or none of them cry about it. No Asians, nothing, no matter how many people. They weren't in Ferguson. They weren't in Baltimore. They weren't down in Baton Rouge when they shot the man for selling CDs. So, you know, I don't care. I'm just like them. I'm selfish like them. And I guess we have to be selfish to survive in a competitive environment. I have no shame in it. And when we come to a situation where people truly act collectively, and you care as much about me as I'll care about you, okay, I'll do it. But I'm not waiting. I'm not holding my breath. I'm not trying to be a black Hindenburg or a dirigible full of hot air waiting for people who hate my guts in Mexico. Let me just tell y'all something before I go. Brother, when did they start counting and acknowledging that black people even existed in Mexico? When? Do you know?
No.
2015.
Wow.
That's exactly 500 years after Hernan Cortez came with black folks, but we know there were black people from the doggone stone carvings.
Right, the Olmec civilization.
The first president of Mexico was a black person. These bastards won't tell you. Simon Bolivar, the mulatto. Huh? Who financed all the liberation in Latin America? The Haitians did. What color Haitians? Please don't say white.
Sound like a loaded question. Of course, they're melanated. They're black. Haitians. Now, how was the Haitians able to finance everybody? How was the Haitians able to finance everyone back?
Because Haiti was the richest colony in the world.
So what happened?
White people. What else you think happened? It explains almost everything.
I'm talking about after they gained their freedom from, during the the French thing.
I answered the question. White people happen.
I mean, what, they came back around like as missionaries, or
they never went away? White people happen. What are you not getting?
I understand.
You're not getting it. White people happen.
So the people
you need to know the history of Haiti.
Well, I need to know many things. True.
If you know the history of Haiti, white people happen.
Well,
and in your lifetime, in 2004, when the French and the Americans and the Canadians and the Germans and the Canadians had the coup in Haiti, they were trying to end paying indemnities, reparations to white people for holding them as slaves.
Wow.
200 years of paying reparations for being enslaved and the victims of a genocide that killed 250,000 people.
Wow. That's a travesty.
They're probably still paying. And you know what? When they come, you meet people from Haiti. I'm from Paris, from Haiti. I'm from Haiti. Right?
Right.
Black Americans don't understand Haiti. Right? I do understand that a country that's 99% black is paying white folks for having held them in slavery for 215 years. I do understand.
Wow.
Let me let you go, brother.
All right.
We'll pick this up again. It's a fact. They're still paying y'all. They're paying the white people for enslaving them. The next time someone tells you that black Americans have no pride and no dignity, you tell me a nigga that's paid white people 200 years for having been a slave.
Right.
You tell me someone. And that's when the Haitians, they don't mess with we educated niggas. They like the black folks that don't know shit, and they talk down to you. You gotta learn people's history. When you know other people's history, they don't like to be around you. You make us feel bad. You make me feel bad. You talk about my country. Right? I told the truth. Okay?
Now just
people
power,
from Nigeria come over here with the jacked up attitude. If I told you it's commonplace for people, they're not toilets all over Nigeria. People take a bowel movement in the street. Wow. It's the norm for people to do to it.
That's harsh. That's harsh. That's.
No, it's not hard. You can look up public defecation in Nigeria. Go online and look it up. There are only a few places in the whole country where folks stop taking doo-doo in the street.
Oh, well, you better always wear shoes or boots around there.
I mean, doo-doo in the street, pee in the street. I remember getting my ticket to fly out of Nigeria, and the building had no bathroom. Someone told me, I says, where's the bathroom? This is down the hall. And I kept walking. I didn't see anything. And the guy kept motioning his hand, keep going. It was a tall grass outside the building.
I'm sorry.
It blew my mind. And there was this fine woman. She lifted up her dress and she made a coochie open up like the doors of Star Trek. She peed without getting it on her dress. It's almost like she knew how to squirt it, like a super soaker. I've never seen that before. She went and peed in the grass. Didn't get a spot on her dress. I mean, I was gonna give her a medal.
That is so. Do they have some weeds set aside for transgender, or does everyone use the same weeds?
Everybody used the same thing. But see, my mom was so blown by the woman that knew how to pee and a long dress too, without getting any piss on her stuff. So I don't know if they have some kind of exercise or African yoga they do, learn how to like shoot it.
Stop that.
I mean, I swear to God, it blew my mind. And it wasn't like I was trying to see. She wasn't even trying to hide. They're used to pissing in public, crapping in public. It was in the big, tall grass. The grass is about 8 feet tall.
Jesus.
I mean, you haven't seen grass until you go to southern Nigeria. You got grass about 15, 20 feet tall.
I mean, I can see some people who don't know what we're talking about, like saying, what, they keep the toilet paper out there? There's no toilet paper. Or none
there
of
wasn't
that.
Toilet paper, friend.
You get a big banana leaf or something. And the thing about the leaves, I have hair on. I just can't imagine that slide through my cheeks. I thank God I took toilet paper with me. I did. It takes toilet. You do. I'm done. That's real talk.
Oh my God. You know, and you know what the doctors talk about is not for everyone. You know, some people cannot survive in those type of conditions. So keep your ass here, but just do the right thing while you're here. Vote correctly.
You know what? Let me tell you about African toilets. I was at the University of Ghana. I stayed in the dormitory at their best school. And they had bunk beds where you may have 8-10 people in the room. It looked like the damn slave ship scene from Amistad, like the pallets on the slave ship.
Yes.
And that's their best school.
Will you stop?
What blew my mind was when I went to the bathroom, I had to like pray for courage because there are no seats. They just have the porcelain base.
No.
There's nothing. Yes. Oh, yes. A lot of Africans, the toilet does not have the top part. It doesn't have the water to come out. Normally, you just have the porcelain base that you can kind of like squat over and let the doo-doo come out.
And then you got poured like a 5-gallon bucket of water in there.
No. Sometimes you just let the doo-doo go. That's it. I described the process. Don't add to it. Listen to what I just told you. And the sink is about 30 feet away. You know, it's very easy to get doo-doo on your fingers and all. I mean, it's really, I'm just telling you how it is. The showers were jacked up. This was the best school in the country. The toilets were sometimes broken. There were flies everywhere. This is real talk.
And that's the best school in the nation. So what do you think the presidential power? Do you think they would actually have toilets?
I think they have it for the really rich people. That's why they don't like living there. They're all in Europe and the United States. And Trump called them S-hole countries. Well,
yeah, when you're really shitting in a bucket. I mean, what you're talking about, Doctor?
Well, no, some people don't have the bucket. I mean, I wish they did.
You don't even have a pot to piss in. Well, Chinese is going to make that possible for everybody to get a Chinese
They have
bucket.
a thing in Africa. It's called night soil. Night soil, that means doo-doo collected at night. And there are people that get big pots of doo-doo and they carry it around. That's a job, collecting doo-doo. And take it somewhere to dump it.
And then you wonder why there's dysentery, cholera outbreaks, or
of course. Now, you come here, and I'm not praising American racism, colonialism, or genocide, but I'm just saying to you, the black people that built this country made a paradise for everybody but themselves, and we need to stop doing that.
Right.
And this isn't against anyone. Did you hear me say I hate Nigerians? No. I met a lot of really fine Nigerian people.
No, okay? I mean, what you painted was an awful picture.
And I know crooked ones too. I know crooked ones like Black Americans. A lot of us come from Nigeria. That's why we're so crooked and shiesty and corrupt. The fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. We just have a little bit of white bullshit mixed up in a lot of African bullshit. So we have a double dose of bullshit.
Wow. No wonder there's so much shit.
Yeah, but we can fix this. But part of that is getting a chance to get ourselves together and to repair. And that repair won't come with all of these foreigners getting everything. Every time an apartment becomes available, because there's so many illegals and everybody else doing all this crooked stuff, selling dope, you can't even get anywhere because people, we're not building enough housing for the people that are already here. So if you got 20 million people in the country unlawfully, it makes all the services more expensive, more competitive. Is that fair?
Is it anything ever been fair though, Doctor? No.
Actually, it's been fair when we make it fair. And part of the way we make it fair is support the president that we need borders. Come into this country corrected, don't come at all. I agree with that. I want a ban on all immigration for maybe 10, 15 years. That should be a reparation to black people. Give us a few years to get ourselves together. We've had 54 years of all this immigration nonstop, and it's picking up. No, they're trying to fill this country as a means to force us out of it.
Well, yeah.
And we need to say no. Go somewhere else. Brazil is a big ass country. It's as big as the United States. It's got fewer people. There's plenty of room there. Go. Most folks live on the coast. They're not even living in most of the country. Take your ass to some place that's near where you're from. The language is close and blend in. These folks see a country that we've built up, and they've come here not to become part, but to conquer. And we're part of the spoils of war. We're the white people's chattels, and they want to make us theirs if they even want us as chattel. I'm just being real, because they bring their own slaves over here. That's another conversation, okay? Now, let me get to this thing here. We're going to come back together, and we got to, but man, I just want to praise Donald Trump for pissing off the feminists. It's not every day that a man comes back hard at feminists in this country. Anything that makes feminists mad makes me happy, because they don't care nothing about black men. Black men have been erased by feminism. So I thank Donald Trump for insulting the feminists.
Wow.
Even though he don't love us, it's not about loving us, but it's sort of like I told someone. If I was baking a cake and you happen to come by when I sliced it, don't you still get a piece even though it wasn't baked for you?
True.
So Donald Trump is trying to make a cake for white people in a country where black people are. We're going to get a piece of that no matter what if we decide to get it. Instead of saying he didn't make the cake for us, hell, get your piece anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we need liberty. We need liberation. We need freedom.
Yeah, well, part of liberation is you got to have some food in your belly. You got to have somewhere to live. You got to have some unity. You got to have some guts. You got to have a desire to fight. You got to know what's yours. If what's yours you share with everybody, we got to help everybody. Would you want your wife, when she meets men that are horny, I've got to help everybody, honey? No, you wouldn't stay with her.
Of course not.
Exactly. We need to stop effing with everybody else. Let them solve their own problems. In the words of Tariq Nasheed, let them hold their own nuts. In fact, they're the only people that should be touching their nuts. Why are we touching other people's nuts when we are not dealing with our own?
Yuck. Well,
I'll sign out there. I'll sign out here. Peace, brother.
Peace,
all right.
brother.
And you know what? Tell them about this Cash App. Let them know we're trying to do this red portion. We're trying to show how the Democrats.
Yeah, give that Cash App out before you go.
Yeah, please help a brother out. We're trying to we already tested about 20 places. We sent our students out to test 30 places for lead contamination. And we're going to do in all 125 tests with paper, and we'll have our testers tomorrow. I've been paying for this out of my pocket, me and my brother here, Mr. G from East St. Louis. See how I work with St. Louis? We rocking this, man.
Yes.
Okay, my Cash App is $ Dr. D, uppercase D, lowercase r, uppercase R, lowercase ANDY, uppercase H, lowercase HORT. And brother, reach out to Dorothy. I know she's having money things, catching hell. Right now, I'm so busted, I can't do anything for anyone but me right at this moment. And when I spend this money on my youth, because I want them to be exposed, man, I've made these young folk mad as hell. I've got these people talking about racism and injustice is beautiful. You know, I just need a couple of days to get on someone's nerves, start making people mad,
Getting their
and wake them up. And I have one person says, I'm learning. I think he gets angry, so he can't write down what he's thinking. That's okay. At least I pissed him off. This is why I don't let certain people teach. But yes, I'm Dr. Randy Short with the $, Dr. Randy Short. Send me a few pieces. I want to get a few more testers, man. They're like about $16 a piece. I'd like to get about 4. And that way we can start. In fact, we're going to hook up with this woman because they're knocking down 7 housing projects illegally in D.C. to cover up the fact that all these black folks have been poisoned by lead paint. That these coon Democrats use dangerous, illegal lead paint to kill off black folks here in D.C. It's real talk. We're going to expose it. And the only other thing I'm going to say to you, we're going to be working on lead, and I have another project. I'm going to get back with my Gone Too Far people to fight against the sodomite agenda, but also we're going to be fighting against the effort to legalize prostitution in the District of Columbia and 7 states. They plan to make Black women sexual slaves. They want to pass this on the quadricentennial of our people being brought here in chains.
And you think it's
somebody help
just
me?
Black women?
Help us! I got the attorney. Her name is Joe St. James, a righteous sister. I'm going to start sending you stuff. We're going to fight the power. Will people put money on protecting? We're looking at forming a group. I don't know how it's going to be, but sooner than later, an organization to protect the sanctity of Black women. Yes, I criticize sisters, but I love them. And the folk reached out to me, and I am so outraged I can't even put it in language that they would make all of our sisters whores to mostly white men. Most pimps are white men. Folks don't know that. And something else
most
that they
main
do
drug
not
dealers
know,
are as well.
that if they legalize prostitution the way they want it, they're going to have to teach children about prostitution in school, same way they teach them about being gay in school, to get respect for people in sex work. So they're going to teach our children in kindergarten that it's okay to be hoes and whores and tricks.
And this
is what they plan for us. And it's a crime. It's a crime, my friends. It's a crime
against humanity.
It's a crime that I get Negro preachers right here in D.C. They're doing it, and they're going to do it all over. I got one more piece to tell you. Do you know that they tax Black churches for how much rain falls on the roof? This is some green shit that they're doing. This is what this broad Ocasio wants. These people are getting $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 bills for rain falling on their church. Folks don't help people like me and others fight back. I called my little Negro preacher friend today after I told him off Saturday. Said, y'all been bowing down to the gays, and look at what the gays did to y'all. Now they're going to outlaw Christianity, or at least get rid of the churches by overtaxing. Do you really think they'd ask white churches to pay for rain falling on their roof? No, you know they wouldn't. And this is happening with a lesbian, sellout, Black female mayor. This is what coons do. They're going to destroy. They've already run 300-400 Black churches out of D.C. They want to get the rest of them. And if they do it in D.C., D.C. is the experimental ground because we don't have legal representation. We don't have senators and representatives. They come here with projects and things, and they try it out on Black people here before they take it somewhere else. The same way in St. Louis, they were putting radioactive ions and things on folks in the projects. You've heard about this. You live over there.
Yeah, we talked about it with Glenn.
They did that stuff here too. D.C. and St. Louis are very similar. They're places where Black folks are messed over and they experiment on them because Black folks have an issue of power in certain places in the country.
And we also have an issue of being guinea pigs
some help.
in certain places.
Yeah, we need help. We need resources. And yes, I do talk about cash these days, but if I told you for so many years, I'm here with my brother, St. Louis, I know a lot of Black folks who never were trying to get resources. They just wanted to do something good. And then they ended up losing everything because they weren't trying to get cash, but all the little self-absorbed, cool. They can give you $1 until their child gets shot by the cops. Then all of a sudden, oh, I can't believe this happened to me. Right? So hook a brother up. Hook a brother up. I thank everybody that's helped us out. We will be generating a report on all the places that we tested. We will be presenting it. In fact, I'll send you a copy. You can post on it. We'll be talking about lead and all of this stuff. I'm so excited. And I can't wait to fight the pimps and the pedophiles. Oh, my God. Did you see that thing from The Advocate where they called me a homophobic right-wing radio show host?
No.
I wish I had my own show. Maybe you have to put me on your network. I wish I did have my own show. They really hate me then. Okay, they're lucky. Okay,
But that
I gotta go.
that terminology
I
was
got
the same one they used for Jones. But I understand you got to go. Thank you so much, Dr. Short, and we will continue this later on today. About what time?
right. Well, let's just try. I might have some drama. You know, there's always drama in Black life. But if we're free, I might even partner you because my sister, the one down in Texas, we're looking to see if we can do this through Zoom. We're going to have a black man with a black woman. We both love each other very much. She's a beautiful sister with a beautiful voice named Ashira. We're looking to go to war. We're here to talk about these simp illegals. They're not immigrants. Immigrants come illegally. We want to talk about no good people. And so, are you feeling me? We're fighting the power. We're going to go back on air, and man, we're going to be fighting against the pimps and the hoes and the baby rapists and the baby killers. Oh my God. There's so much work to do to help Black folks wake up. And it's kind of exciting. And I'm kind of glad we have our crazy, off the wall, crazy white dude who likes grabbing folks by the you know what and doesn't know how to control what he says, but dude just gives the whole piece away. I thank God for it. I wish he'd say something about the Congressional Black Caucus. I just waited. God, please let it just go off. I mean, don't just talk about Maxine Waters. We know she's fake. We want to talk about other people. I want to talk about John Lewis. That's just one. Anyway.
All right.
Let me go. I'll talk to you. Bye.
Peace. All right, y'all. That was Dr. Short. Like I said, it was totally unscheduled. Please join me tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. and later on tonight. Whenever. But I will have on Chief Sampson from the Black Seminole Nation. She is a very powerful woman. We're going to be talking about stuff that's going to free you as far as from ailments. We're going to be talking about herbs and how to use them, how to refine them, how to get healthy. Because, y'all, if you're not healthy enough to get away from the pills, when the hammer comes down, that's just going to be another hindrance. So, irregardless of what you hear, see, maybe taste or smell, war's coming. And I want you to be prepared. And I want you to survive. And I don't care who you are, as long as you're human. That means, you're just a human being, period. Because at the end of the end of the end, the real end comes, it's just going to be about humanity, not about none of this ridiculousness. With that being said, live your life of integrity. Oh, by the way, today's date is July 15, 2019, the year of our Lord. Live your life with integrity, without hate, envy, or greed. And as always, brothers and sisters, let's try to be kinder to each other. Peace and power. I'm out.